But I think it's uncomfortable for people when you start changing who they perceived you to be and not who you actually are. But if
That's deep. Hi, Kings and Queens. Welcome back to The Work Within. I'm Diamond Simons.
And I'm Sami Iman, and today we're bringing you the first episode of our new series, Getting Back to You, where we talk about helping you get back to a place where you felt the most confident, the most like you, your most authentic, true self. And today, the episode is all about changing your perspectives. So let's talk about it. So when we talk about changing your perspectives, we have to first, of course, talk about the law of attraction. And the law of attraction states that what you put out into the universe, you get back. And so if you're thinking negative things to yourself, guess what you're going to get back? More negative things. And so one of the things that you have to do is you have to start changing your perspective about the way that you think about yourself, about the way that you think about the world and money, religion, politics, everything. You have to really deep dive into your thoughts and your values. And if you've never thought about your values, 9 times out of 10, you're carrying someone else's values. And so you have to understand that the way that you are right now is a conditioning from your parents, your friends, society in general, your job. Like everything around you is conditioning you to be who this person you are right now. But who you are right now may not necessarily be who you are authentically. That doesn't mean that the things that you want in life, you can't attract to yourself. But if you think to yourself, well, I'm poor, I'm always going to be poor, the universe, God, whoever you consider to be your higher power, is going to bring more of that to you. So you have to change the way that you think about a lot of things.
And so going back to the way you think.
Yeah.
Everything that you do has been conditioned from a child. Everything you do, you've learned from somewhere.
Yeah.
Your politics, your religion, whatever, you learned it from somebody, or you picked it up from somewhere, or you saw it and was like, oh, that's great. And then you wanted to learn more about it. So it's kind of a journey to become authentically you, when all your life growing up you've been taught one way of doing things, which is your parents' authentic way of doing things, maybe, or maybe it's not even authentic for them. So it really is a journey to get from what you've always thought, because it's just what you've always known, to getting to what you actually truly want to live out.
And what you truly believe for yourself.
Right.
I know, just going into like a very great example of that for myself is growing up, I had certain ideas put into my mind about relationships and love and things of that nature by someone who I considered to be of an authority. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's really hard to think different, especially if it's said over and over and over again. And so for myself, essentially what was said to me, just paraphrasing, not giving the words how they were exactly said, but what I interpreted from those words was that I was unlovable, and there was going to be, no one out there, or there had to be a really special person out there to be able to handle loving me. And I carried that for a really long time. I would probably say that within the last 4 or 5 years, I finally was just kind of like, well, who says?
Right.
And you have to start thinking about these things, because the truth of the matter is that I was like, the idea of marriage, I was like, I want to do that. It's like, I was like, I'll just have me a boyfriend who has his own separate place and just comes over whenever I want him to. Because the idea of forever with anybody, I was like, no, that's not going to work. But, and a lot of it was between that situation and then also my parents getting married multiple times. And it was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to go through all of this. And finally, I was like, you know what? I deserve to have that special partner in my life. And, when I started changing the way that I thought about that, I started changing the way that I thought about myself. I'm like, I'm not unlovable. I'm not hard to love. I just have certain things that I need. And if you are someone who doesn't create value in my life, then you don't belong there. Mm-hmm. Point blank. And I don't think that that's too high of expectations. Mm-hmm. I don't think that someone can't reach those expectations, because honestly, I don't think that it's hard to reach, because it's not materialistic. It's not like egotistical either. It's literally saying like, honestly, I can take care of myself. So you have to provide me something other than money.
Or taking care of me.
Yeah.
I can do that on my own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to provide me something of value that I can't already do for myself. And a lot of that is great conversation. Let's go on vacation. Let's go, let's go enjoy life, however that may be, and bring it in as a partnership and not as I need you to take care of me, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And, but it took me a while. It took me going through this journey of really digging deep into why I thought this way, or why I carried this with me for so long. Because, when you find out where the source is, you also have to kind of look at the source and say, well, what's your track record in relationships for you to tell me that,
right.
that I, like someone's not going to love me,
Right.
And, and even then it's like, what do I believe for myself? Because if I continue to say, oh, I'm never going to get married, or, no one's ever going to love me, or, I'm a horrible person, guess what the world is going to bring back to me?
Attraction.
It's going to bring more situations that bring that same type of thing to reaffirm what I already think about myself. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm saying, oh yeah, my great guy is right there, like, he's gonna be amazing. Like, girl, have you heard about my guy? Even though, and even if he hasn't manifested yet, like, you're already speaking this greatness of this person into your life. And guess what? He's gonna be there. Or she, whoever it may be, they're gonna be there. So.
And one of the things that, if I could be so authentic to say, that I've struggled with is indecisiveness. And I still struggle with that, is making a decision. So this past week, I was thinking, what is indecisiveness? It's being stuck between point A and point B. Which route do I take? And so I think part of the reason why I struggle with making strong decisions is because I know I've been shamed a lot for decisions that I've made, or people don't approve of it, and it kind of made me kind of shrivel up, like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have made that decision. And then I think back some more, and I have made a ton of impulsive decisions. And actually, when I was in the shower this morning, I had an epiphany. I knew exactly where my impulsive decisions come from.
Yeah.
So she, who will not be named, but she had an influence over my life, and she still does, and growing up, and she's always had impulsive decisions, and I've known that all my life. We go in the store and she's just like, oh, I like that, F it, I'm just gonna buy it. Like, I probably shouldn't buy it, but I'm just gonna buy it anyway. Yeah. And I've picked up on that a lot, and I've made lots of decisions, aka my current car. I was just like, F it, I'm just gonna buy it, and not thinking things through, and then being shamed for that decision, or having bad results. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then going forward, when I make decisions, I'm like, well, should I just do it? Because part of me really wants to just do it. Yeah. Or should I just sit back and think about it and ponder on it, which is what I do a lot too, because I'm trying not to be so impulsive. So it's a journey. Yeah. It's something I'm learning and growing through.
And I think that, because I feel like there should be some impulsive decisions in your life, because a lot of times some of the greatest things come out of impulsive decisions. But I don't feel like every decision should be impulsive, but I do feel that there has to be a balance, right? Because you can't take forever to make a decision either,
Yeah.
And then for me, I know for myself, because I'm a spontaneous person, I always have been, and but everything in my life is not spontaneous,
I know.
But I feel like, you know, like it might be a situation where it's like, you know what, have a 3-day weekend, let's go to California and go to the beach, you know, or whatever, spontaneous decision, whatever. Like, and at the end of the day, even if it doesn't turn out to be a great trip, I got to sit on the beach for a little bit, and so I'm happy, you know.
And you come back broke.
Yeah.
Where did my money go?
But you know what? I had a good time in the moment. I'll worry about the consequences later. But
see, and that's that impulsive decision that gets me in trouble all the time.
It is.
No,
it is. But I feel like, you know, but I think at this point in my life, I don't really have a lot of people shaming me for my decisions. So I don't have to worry about that. It's kind of me being like, oh, well, okay, we just got to figure it out now, you know. But I also feel like you have to have some logical decisions too. Like some things you do have to think about, and you have to think about them. You know, do your research, do your pros and cons, you know, but it doesn't have to be like a 2-week pondering of the situation, because then ultimately the situation's gone, or maybe the issue that you're having at that moment is gone, and it doesn't make sense to go back 2 weeks later
and make an emotional decision versus logical ones, which is another contribution to my indecisiveness.
Yeah,
because I could feel some type of way, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it because I feel this way.
Yeah, exactly. And we are actually gonna do a whole show about that in the future. So. But, you know, just all about decision making and trusting your decisions and everything like that, because there's a difference between an emotional decision and a logical decision. And you know, being able to trust that what you actually feel and what you actually want to do is actually what you want to do. But yeah, so changing your perspective really goes into, like Dan was saying, digging deep into finding the source of where you got that idea from. And it doesn't matter what the idea is. So one of the things that I really want to talk about too when it comes to changing your perspective, people are going to push back on your decisions of changing your perspectives because you're going against what they understand. Mm-hmm. So when you go through this journey of learning what you actually believe, who you truly are, understand that you're going to get pushback, because unfortunately a lot of society has never gone on this journey. Mm-hmm. A lot of society is okay just doing the status quo, doing what was taught, and not really digging deep and being like, hey, that's not actually how I feel. Mm-hmm. And you know, and here's the thing, like, even if you don't want to have this conversation with the people around you of the perspectives that you have changed, it's going to come up. So be prepared to defend why you are thinking differently than how other people are thinking, because people get, you know, I don't even want to say upset, but I think it's uncomfortable for people when you start changing who they perceived you to be, mm-hmm. and not who you actually are. But if
that's deep. That's really deep.
Yeah, but if you step confidently into who you are meant to be, people will fall in line. Right. You know, they'll start to understand, and they will
line up.
And eventually, they may not understand, but they will support who this person you are growing into. And so the thing about it is that we are here, and we will definitely give you support, and we will definitely continue on our journeys with you. So what we want from you guys is to let us know what you're growing through right now, so that we can offer some words of encouragement to you and let you know that you're not alone. As well, we're going to leave a link to our website in the description so that you can go and print off a worksheet that we've created for you guys to help you start on your journey to start changing your perspectives. And the worksheet is pretty much just, this is the idea that I have and what I think currently, and then really digging deep about where you got that idea from, where you got that thought from.
Yeah, and let me just throw in, this worksheet is not easy.
It's not meant to be easy.
It takes time. It takes you really thinking things through. Yeah. Because quite honestly, last week we were supposed to film this episode, and I did the worksheet, but I was just like, I don't understand. Like, it's not, I don't know, like, what decisions I make that aren't mine, or that and I just really had to sit down and think about it. So the little short time frame that I tried to cram it in
that was
did not work for me. I really had to sit down and think about it. So when you print off this worksheet, really sit down and think about it and take initiative to go back into your decisions in your life and really evaluate things and write it down.
Because what you have to understand is that changing anything, whether it be your perspective, changing jobs, changing cars, changing relationships, they're hard to think about, you know, and they're hard to really dig deep and figure out what it is that you truly want and how you truly feel and how you truly think. And so it's not going to be an easy journey. It's not meant to be. And I know when I first started taking this journey, I had a conversation with my mentor at the time, and I told her I felt like I was having an internal battle going on in my head about how I was and how I was meant to be. You know, like just changing my thoughts and changing my perspectives about so many things. It was just like a fight going on in my mind because your mind is conditioned to think a certain way. And so it's going to push back on you, but you have to stay vigilant, and you have to just keep pushing forward and know that you're not alone. There are people out there who are going through the same journey as you. We are going through the same journey as you. Learning to be your authentic self and getting back to who you are is a lifelong journey, because every day you're going to figure out something new about yourself. And you're going to, you know, and then also you're going to find those people who maybe don't understand why you're doing it, and so, you know, there's going to be a lot of defending as well, which is where the worksheet helps, because not only does it have you go and dig deep into where you got it from, but it forces you to think about what the truth is for you, and how you move going forward. Understand you're going to get pushback on that, but now you have something in writing to say, well, this is why I feel this way. You know, and so it makes it easier for you to be able to have confidence in how you are going to feel about this situation or this thought going forward, which not only helps reprogram your mind into thinking differently, but it'll help you to articulate to the people around you why you think differently than they think. So, like I said, the link below will take you to the website so you can download that worksheet and get working on that. And like I said, tell us what you're growing through so that we can get some words of encouragement. And if it's something that maybe we've grown through already, maybe we can help you find ways to grow through it yourself. So until next time, we are going to say farewell. And our next video is all about creating value systems, which we talked about a little bit today. But we will definitely go more in depth about that in our next video. Make sure you join us again the first Sunday of the month. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. If you like what you saw today, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Love ya.